Hi, I'm Peter Ilgenfritz, and I'm the interim pastor here at the Congregational Church of Boothbay Harbor. And this is our midweek in these times, where each week we seek to share an encouraging word during these most challenging times. And it's a real gift today to have Keith Urvanitis here, who's the regional director of the Harbor Pier and Wellness Center here in Boothbay Harbor. Keith, I've been so looking forward to getting to meet you, and thanks for coming in today. And so I don't know anything about the Harbor Pier and Wellness Center. Can you tell me the kind of work you do?
Absolutely, Peter. Thank you for having me. The Harbor Pier and Wellness Center is a peer-to-peer support center for individuals that may be experiencing challenges with substance misuse and or co-occurring mental health challenges. What we do offer at the center is a low-barrier, safe place for individuals to come seeking support and connection and being with others that may have walked a similar path that they may be walking or may have walked. Right now, our center does offer, due to COVID-19, we have been temporarily closed, but right now we are offering telephone recovery support where anyone can reach out to one of our recovery coach specialists. In addition, we are also offering one-on-one recovery coaching with individuals that may be having some challenges or may be sustaining their own recovery with substance misuse. We also offer those services over the internet. If someone may have some transportation barriers or may have some fears about reaching out, they can reach out to us over Facebook Messenger. And they can do so by going to the Harbor Pier and Wellness Center on Facebook.
Tell me how this has been such a time of anxiety and fear and a lot of uncertainty for all of us, and especially for some communities today. And how is it affecting folks in the communities that you serve?
What we're seeing is right now connection is needed more than ever. And through connection is that level of support that's needed to support someone that's in recovery. What recovery looks like can be different for many people. It can be different for anybody. For instance, for my recovery, today I'm a father. Today I'm someone who can be employed. Today I'm an active part of my community. Where today I'm also going to be a father, another father. I'm having a child in September.
Oh, Keith, congratulations. You are going to be a father again.
I am going to be a father again. So today I'm able to do that. And for me, recovery is having hope and being someone that's part of my community. And what I'm seeing is individuals needing that level of hope, because there is so much fear and so much anxiety and so much uncertainty that for individuals that are not in recovery, it's just easier for them to, what I have seen, it may not be easy, but they're going with what they know, and what they know is going to a substance. And that could be alcohol, that could be street drugs, it could be even certain types of addictions with food. Or just doing something, a behavior that's causing some consequences in their life.
Oh. And if any of us have people in our lives, loved ones in our lives, who we see coping with, as you said, the stresses of today by turning to substance abuse, what can we do?
Really, number one is to be accepting and to support the individual. What I mean by supporting and is accepting them where they're at. Everybody is at a different level of recovery. There is no cookie cutter. Recovery can just look different for anybody and everyone, and there's not one specific way of looking at recovery. What recovery is for me may be different for somebody else. For instance, there's individuals that are in 12-step recovery, but there's also other individuals that are in what they call MAT recovery, which is medicated assisted treatment. And that may require an individual taking that specific medication, as well as going to a therapist and going to a counselor, and connecting with other peers to support them and who have walked a similar path. Because once again, it goes back to that mutuality piece, where I'm really more inclined to connect with someone that's been through the same challenges that I've been through, which makes it a little bit easier to walk that path.
Huh. Thank you for that. I mean, my question is, what if it's us? What if we're the ones who are dealing with the anxiety of this time by turning to addiction?
Yeah.
And where's a place to turn for a next step, or to at least talk about that with somebody?
Certainly. So our center, our center is a great place for individuals to reach out, and we do have our telephone numbers posted on our Facebook page, as well as our email addresses, as well as ways that individuals can attend Zoom meetings. We do offer peer support Zoom groups, actually, every Monday through Friday at 3 to 4 p.m. We're also doing a live peer group in various locations throughout Boothbay Harbor or the Boothbay region on Tuesdays between 3 and 4 p.m. So really, it's by reaching out to someone else that maybe walked that similar path. And all of our services are free. There's no cost to anything that we do offer.
And are they confidential as
They
well?
are extremely confidential. And the beautiful thing is it's peer to peer. There's no power differential as far as, I may be here and the person needing support is here. We're both at the same level, and we're walking this journey together.
And if I call the Harbor Peer and Wellness Center, what's the training of the person I might talk to, or their own experience?
Absolutely. So the training is our recovery coach specialists have gone through what they call the CCAR training, and that is through Connecticut Community Recovery Academy. In addition to that, we do have individuals that have been certified through what they call the Certified Intentional Peer Support Program, which is a program here in the state of Maine, which does offer a certification that's actually honored through the Department of Health and Human Services.
And I'm just so grateful you're here. As we were talking before, you said this is an important issue in our region around addiction. And are you seeing that changing in these days?
I am, Peter. Unfortunately, what I've been seeing in this general area it is crystal meth. And in the past, it was an issue of opiates, and that's kind of shifting now to the primary use being crystal meth versus alcohol or heroin or opiates.
And if we as individuals want to help, if our church wanted to be support, what are things practically we could do to support this work and support people in our community?
Absolutely. I would say, number one, please, if you're not familiar with the center, to please check out the center, because really we can't do this alone. And by building community, a community, both a faith-based community as well as a recovery community, the more people that we can get that have an understanding and are more engaging with individuals that have substance misuse, the better the result's going to be for that individual. And it also helps with education and advocacy and understanding.
You know, if you had to say, one thing as we close, that you'd like people to understand from your experience and work? What would you like us to understand?
Is that there's a person inside that individual that is being challenged with substance misuse, and their actions or behaviors are not who that individual is. That's just a byproduct of the drugs or the substances. To know that the individual that is going through those challenging times is someone that is potentially a daughter, is a mother, is a neighbor, and really needs that support and needs that encouragement and needs that love and kindness, to have a community that's accepting of them. Because I will say, this is just through my own experience, is that, I thought I was an outcast when I was in my addiction, and I was ashamed, and I was humiliated, and I didn't want to, I wanted to be part of my community, but I was scared. And to have individuals that were understanding and compassionate and were there extending an arm to me was something that was just amazing, and has allowed me to be to where I'm at today in my recovery.
Well, I love how you just model that way, that there is another side and that there is a way through some of the really hard times and challenges of our lives. And that's just a personal embodiment of hope. You are to me, and I know you are to our community, Keith.
Thank you.
Just thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your work at the Harbor Pier and Wellness Center. And if we want to get in touch with them, how can we do that?
Certainly. Once we resume normal operations, we are located at 35 School Street. Our door is on the right-hand side. In the interim, though, my contact number is 207-315-1104. Or you can send a direct message to us on our Facebook page, which is under the Harbor Pier and Wellness Center. Or you could email me directly at keitha@amistadmaine.org.
Thanks, Keith.
Thank you, Peter.
Thanks for your work.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Over there once in a while. This was so super,
you.
spot on what I wanted to learn and just know about. And I'm just so glad for this beginning connection with you. And I look forward to more ways to really know, how I and the church here can be support.
Thank you, Peter.
And this is exactly what I was hoping for this one that'll go up. Is to give another entryway for people who this might be really life-saving information for them.
Absolutely.
And I love I was so glad I asked that question. Because you prompted me on it. You said, what's most important? I mean, anyway, I came back and said, what is most important? And that piece about, remember, there's a person.
Yeah,
This is a person. And
that's huge.
Oh my God. That's the piece we forget all the time.
And we really see it too, especially when we're helping men come back to a community that, especially a small community like this, and I'm just going to say Joe Public.
Sure.
Joe Public was known in the area as stealing and as a thief and doing all these bad things. And Joe Public goes and gets incarcerated and then comes back to that community. But during that time he was incarcerated, he came and maybe it could be faith-based, maybe it could be something happened, a transformation took place, and he comes back into that same community. And just the judgment that an individual has to go back into. And people are not always willing to take that risk of, do I hire this individual? Do I put that boundary in place because I'm scared something's going to happen? And
Once bitten, twice shy, and
That's exactly. And I really see that a lot with a lot of these men that come out of prison, or settings, even hospitalizations with psychiatric. The one good thing is that there are programs in place to support some of the men and women. Like the federal government has a program called Fidelity Bonding, where an employer can be or an employee can be bonded up to 6 months for up to $100,000. Actually, anybody. It doesn't even have to be someone that's done time. It could be someone that is in substance use and is a high risk. So the employer, they're insured for up to $100,000, which gives the opportunity for the employee to kind of prove themselves.
Exactly.
That's fabulous to know that.
We're trying to get naloxone out to the community too. And what naloxone is, it's an opiate reversal medication. So if someone is having an overdose, they can, actually it's a simple training that's done and that they can administer this opiate reversal medication to save someone
Saves
from
people's
overdose.
lives, right?
It does. A matter of fact, if when I have some on me, I'll bring some over.
You know, this is something that, where was I talking about that to people? The people like the sanitation workers, like all sorts of people, janitors,
Yeah.
pastors, but so many different people who you could be in that situation and
That's right.
find somebody. Wow.
And especially the gentlemen that go out on fishing boats, because that's
Fishing boats.
primarily where a lot of that opiate. I should say that there's a population of individuals that have a higher rate of opiate disorder, and those are the gentlemen that are working all day on a boat and they're hurting and they go to their doctor and their doctor is like, take this. Well, next thing you know, they're addicted.
Sure.
And now they're using heroin, and it's not heroin, it's fentanyl. So now they're at risk out on a boat and sea to be overdosing.
Please do. Please talk to me more about that.